when you came out to your team, that was obviously a big moment, but I think you've said that that was one of the best things that you could have done. And then post that, actually, your success as a team went through the roof. But can you just sort of talk us through like what that must have been like? I can imagine all sorts of thoughts going through your head, prior to having to have that kind of conversation.
Yeah, so this is like going back a long time now. So it's actually before I even started with this team. I was in juniors with my previous team and we were doing all right. Like we were playing pretty well, but we weren't like consistent. And you're with four guys and you're like 18, 19 years old. So a lot of the conversation was like, oh, that girl's really hot or pretty or attractive. And I was just like, can't really engage in those conversations. So I kind of like went into my shell a wee bit and was like, I need to talk about this. So I went to a sports psychologist and she was the first person that I ever told. And she just helped me through it. She was just like, I can help you tell people, I can help you as an individual. Like, what do you want to do? And she just made it so simple for me. And I was able to tell my team. And it's hard to kind of say that that's like the pivotal point in my career. But after I told them, that's when success started to come for me. So like the next year I won the World Junior bronze medal. The year after that, I won the World Junior gold medal. The year after that, I won the University Games medal. The year after that, I won a world bronze medal in men's. So like, that kind of one point in my career, like it might be totally separate, but the lines match up. It's a nice moment that I can kind of look back on and reflect and say, oh, that could have actually been the change in my career.
For sure, like it could be a coincidence, but it also could have been the stimulus and allowed you to just focus on what you need to focus on because, being in the diving world, being alongside Tom Daley and experiencing his whole process with coming out publicly and the change in his just vibe and energy around us in competitions, in training, his confidence in competition changed. And it just created this, freer approach. And I can imagine that it's a huge weight off the shoulders and you can actually just get on with what you need to do and just get on with life. And I think it's so important that, people like yourself, people like Tom and others just normalize that process because it shouldn't be such a big deal. It shouldn't be such a burden on the potential of success. But I know that there's still a stigma around it. And in 2025, I feel like that shouldn't be a thing anymore. Like people can be who they want to be. So like for you, obviously amazing that you could do that, amazing that you found success, but that I guess doesn't define your curling career. You're a successful curler because you're just, first of all, amazing at the sport, very tactically clever because of that game, and also had the confidence to create your own team in a moment where, actually, well, you tell me what was the reasons why you decided to create your own team? What gave you the confidence to create your own team and just go forward as Skip?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll start with Tom's story a bit for me and how I remember it. Yeah. It was, I can't even remember when Tom came out, but
2013.
I remember sitting in college. Yeah, so 2013, like I was sitting in college. So I think I had just come out to like my family and some of my friends. And then I went to college and then all of a sudden, like didn't have the confidence to tell them because they were new people. And I remember just almost feeling like I'd stepped back into the closet a wee bit. Then I was sitting in class one day and someone was like, oh, Tom Daley's just posted a video on YouTube saying that he's dating a man. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is the first person kind of in my generation that I saw had shared his story and doing it through such a public way. So like not just doing it through written media, like doing it in his own way, doing a YouTube post, I think it was. And I was just so inspired by that. I was just like, the confidence to be able to do that was incredible. And then it was the year after that I had the confidence to then come out to my team. So Tom he's inspired me a lot, like with his success in sport, but also just having the confidence to be able to come out. And then later down the line, after like 3 or 4 years later, after I had come out, this is when this team that I formed right now started together. So we started in like June or July of 2027. And I had played with Bobby for like 2 years prior to that. And I was trying to get to the mixed doubles Olympics, and I had just missed my opportunity. So we came ninth and we had to finish top 8. And it was quite a tough moment, but off those tough moments, a lot of good comes from it, I always find. And I got asked to be in this team, so I can't take the credit for starting this team. Like, I was actually the last member of the team to be asked.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was the 3 guys had gone, Grant and Hammy are cousins, so they went to the pub and they were like, oh, who are we going to get to start this team that we're going to run to the Olympics, the next one? And they wanted Bobby for sure. And then they knew I was playing mixed doubles. And then when I didn't get into the mixed doubles Olympics, they asked me to join. So I was the 4th member of the band.
That doesn't like quite make sense in my head. Like, how does the 4th member of the band become the skip and the leader? Like, I just presume that the leader is the one that created it. I feel like that's often how things work. How is it the last person to be picked becomes the leader?
Yeah, it's not common, I guess, but like, I'd done a lot of skipping through my junior career, and Grant had also done a lot of skipping during his junior career. So it was kind of between us. Where, like, Grant was probably going to skip if I hadn't been part of the team, but the boys and I just sat down together and were like, what's the best roles for each person? And each role within curling has quite a unique set of skills. So Tammy and Bobby are incredible sweepers, so they're actually really strong. Like, a lot of people don't believe that curlers need to be strong, and both of them are incredibly strong, like 2 of the best sweepers in the world. Grant is very tactically astute, so he knows a lot of things that I maybe miss as well. So it was between us 2 for the skip role. And I had just been at like world championships and like juniors and stuff, and dealt with like certain levels of pressure that maybe Grant hadn't at that point. But yeah, they decided that we would try me at skip and see how it went. And then we went to Canada for the first 2 weeks of our career as a team. And we won the first 2 events and went like 14-0, which a Scottish team hadn't really ever done before. So they were like, oh, maybe this is working. So that's kind of how it came about. It wasn't like I bullied them into, I'm going to skip.
Were the roles ever adjusted as time went on? Did you ever experiment with different things, or did you just get it right from the start that these were the roles? It sounds like, everyone had a clear vision of what was needed, and you were able to really quickly align your personal values, but also the team values of what's required to become a successful team in the world of curling.
We were really fortunate. I think we put this line up together and we were like, oh, let's just try this out. And then, as I said, we went to those first 2 events in Canada and we won the 2 events. So we were like, oh, this is actually a very good team. Like, we were kind of guessing before that. We knew that we were 4 good individual curlers, but we actually gelled really well, which was such a good thing. And we were able to communicate really well, be constructive rather than critical. And we, later on that season, we went to a Grand Slam, and there'd only ever been one Scottish team that had made a final of a slam. And we won that slam in November of 2017, being the first ever Scottish team to win one. I was the youngest skip to ever win one. So we went from like 35th in the world to top 10 in the world extremely fast. And that's never really happened in our sport before. So we were like, well, we're onto something. Let's just try and just run with this and see how far we can go.
That's amazing. I read something about you having almost an innate confidence in yourself. Is that true? Did you believe that to be true? Did you just go into that team thinking, well, okay, I know we're 35th in the world, but I don't really care. We're just, I know we're good. We're here to mean business. Like, what was the process?
Yeah, well, it's hard to kind of like remember everything, I guess, but we were ranked 4th in Scotland. So like, we weren't even funded really well that year. We had a bit of funding, but we knew that we were better than what other people expected us to be, I guess. As I say, like, we were just 4 really good curlers joined together, knew that we had this really good opportunity to prove ourselves, and we just took it by the horns and ran with it. Like, we were never doubting ourselves. And later on that season, we got to go to the World Championships for the first time, and we proved ourselves there as well. Like, we got a bronze medal in our first time trying, and not a lot of teams go to a World Championship the first time trying and medal. So yeah, we were just very fortunate. Like, I felt like I had hit the jackpot with this team and the lineup that we formed, and everyone that was part of it.
It's really interesting hearing how teams form. I think it's really cool. And obviously, in different worlds, teams are very important. And obviously, the most successful organizations, the most successful outcomes in sport are because there are amazing teams that are formed. But you've given like zero information on how to form a great team because you just said it's your fortune almost, which is quite funny. But it's actually often how it works. It's just like, you just so happen to fall into the right place at the right time with the right people that creates an amazing team which just clicks and works.
Don't get me wrong, it's not been like sunshine and rainbows the entire time.
Yeah.
But like that first like 4 months was pretty cool for us. And then, as I said, like teams have those honeymoon periods, and then we kind of like realize there's actual things that we need to work on. So we did a lot of work on trying to understand each other as individuals, not just as like the team. So we, like, I don't know, I guess like insights. Have you ever done that in diving, like understanding you as a person?
Yeah.
Like we all did that individually and then as a team as well. So like we brought our insights and like what color we are on the kind of spectrum. And I think this happens in business a lot as well, like within teams in business. So like I was a green and Grant was a blue. And Hammy was a yellow and Bobby was a red. So we were actually like four corners of this. So very much four individuals, not aligned in many ways. But I actually think that was the best opportunity for us because we had so many different perspectives to look at one thing. And like we had to understand how to communicate with each individual rather than just like one set of people. So like with Grant, I know that he's incredibly like analytical. Like he just loves facts and stats and things like that. Whereas Bobby just needs quick communication. So if I'm communicating with Bobby, I need to be quick and precise and very like just give him as much detail in a short space of time. And Hammy is like sunshine yellow. He just wants to be involved and like to make sure everyone's having a good time. And my kind of insights, I remember it saying I was a supporter. So like if everyone else in the team is happy, then I'm happy. So I like go out of my way to make sure that everyone in the team is happy with the situation that we're in. And if they are, great, we're going to win.
That's fitting for a skip, I think.
Right. Like just make sure everyone's happy first. And then if they are, then I'm good.